4 players, and it'll be the 4th one for 1 player. Faker is 1 game away. It's been so long since he's been in the finals. He doesn't want to drop the ball now, but DRX have been showing up this series. They've been putting up a hell of a fight, and they're back on blue side.
And if you hadn't watched the first
3 min từ 4 kìa, ở đây thấy chưa? Ở đây thấy chưa? Ở đây thấy người ta cổ vũ chưa? Bên ghi à? Bên ghi à? Dáng này á là em phải chỉ thằng Faker á là bích con rai cho anh, quýnh phủ đầu từ kia cho anh.
The Lucian, they're even following it up with the Ashe this time around too, so it is going to be the pinch point again.
Yeah, expecting similar bans here out of T1. Varus first pick as the answer with Lucian, Caitlyn, Yumi being down. Unless T1 changes it up and tries to flip the script a bit here on red side. We saw DRX try the Kalista Renata into it. Didn't work in lane phase, but they managed to funnel gold into it because of these Herald fights, getting Death out of the lane, getting him some kills and skirmishes. T1, not a very
cảm ơn em rất là nhiều đã ủng hộ nha. Trời, ngày hôm nay bữa nay là cái này được tới 200 mấy người luôn, 200 mấy người xem rồi, đỉnh vậy. Yes, yes. Trời ơi, Fanger dễ thương đi. Fanger dễ thương đi.
Are they going to leave up the Sylas Akali trade? Because DRX, with that Rise ban, they're trying to raise the threat of the Zeka Sylas, but Faker has loved playing the Akali into it for the kills early.
Yeah, we'll see if he blinds it. I think if I was DRX's coach, I would say to Pyosik, and I would look at the games and think that he's a little bit nervous right now. Kindred would be a great pick here. Comfort is really key, especially with Pyosik struggling to get these smites down. Everything other than the smite was great. Viego looks good, but ultimate comfort here in a match point, I think Kindred could work.
Also, then he could Kindred ult these objectives that keep getting stolen away and have an extra hand in trying to secure them.
Wow. So T1's actually going to go for the Kalista. We've only seen Goryushi's Kalista once this tournament, and they struggled in Summer Split to play really heavy towards it and dominate the lane as much as maybe they would like. They lean more towards hyper carries of the swords, and they're going to get the Sejuani that is open for the first time in this series. Flex for Zeus and Ona.
Dành qua dành lại anh em ơi. Dành qua dành lại con Varus. Ây da, Gumayusi muốn dạy cho mấy Death chơi. Má, Gumayusi muốn dạy cho Death chơi á, Kalista anh em ơi. Chết. Chà, bích qua bích lại ta. Nãy giờ lần nào cũng bích qua bích lại ta. No way.
Renata is a no-brainer. They don't want to give that over. We'll see if what carrier matches into this Renata.
Renata locked in next to the Varus. They're up against Sejuani, so they know that T1 will have a powerful front line. Sejuani is tied for most played champion by owners so far at this tournament. T1 love running this in the jungle, and DRX, they'll lock the Azir.
The challenge has been thrown down to Faker. The gauntlet thrown down here. Are you going to play the Akali again?
I think Akali or Sylas here would be great, but they might have to match support depending on what they're thinking in terms of pool. You know, Nautilus could be a good pick. Thresh, something along those lines that can pressure this lane. Blitzcrank as well into those champions looks really good if I think about it. But yeah, matching mid could be a no-brainer. Soraka.
Carrier. Versatility here. Soraka's
lane
is probably the biggest estimated part of the kit.
Alo, được vậy anh em.
Focus on the healing, but Carrier plays it so aggressively along with that Kalista.
Soraka được vậy.
And do not underestimate the silence in
khôn máu trận này đó.
As well. This can completely throw off otherwise good plays. It's such a rare mechanic in League of Legends. It's hard to remember exactly how that's going to affect things.
So now you're probably expecting DRX to ban away the Akali. You know, if Faker's not going to pick it up, that is a strong kill counter champion into Azir, and Faker has played so many of those games. They ban out the Victor first for the scaling option. Maybe they're thinking, looking at T1's draft, that T1 want some more scaling than that, you know, some control mage look from the mid lane.
Yeah, the Sejuani will need some melee champions with her, whether she's top or jungle. I don't think Faker will struggle to find a champion here on 4. The Sejuani flex is what I'm really concerned about for DRX.
Ooh.
Your jungle pool's been pinched, and you have to blind top against Zeus. Aatrox is a good lean towards, but he'll pick something like Fiora or Yone again with Sejuani. It could be disastrous. So T1 holding all the cards right now in terms of counter picks.
Mọi người ghé ngang cho mình xin một subscribe nha mọi người. Cảm ơn mọi người.
Functions very strong with Sejuani jungle.
Yeah, surprised they didn't double ban.
Yone.
They're covering the Aatrox. They're saying that we want to blind Aatrox here on 4. Now do they take it away? T1 or they lock in Fakers Akali.
Akali.
So I think you do blind the Aatrox here.
Lock Akali rồi.
T1 will answer with the Fiora for Zeus.
Yeah.
Lock Akali rồi.
Unless they put the Sejuani top, but I think the matchup is that great in isolation as the game gets later and later on. You have to have a really valuable jungle counter pick, and Pyosik might have to dig deep here because he's facing a Kindred ban. Graves is up, but I feel like they need a little bit, maybe a melee champ here would be better. Something like Vi that can lock the Kalista down.
So much pressure on them, and they know they're facing the
Azir trong tay của Faker mạnh quá cho nên là giành luôn rồi.
Maokai could lock the Kalista down as well. And it is going to be the Maokai jungle for Pyosik. There's the Fiora last triple melee.
Nó phải như thế, nó phải như thế.
We saw it a little bit in groups and then it just fell off.
Fiora kèo khác chắc cứng luôn, hợp lý.
Must win game for DRX.
And he's good at locking down these mobile carries like a Kalista, like an Akali. He's also good at locking down a squishy target like the Soraka. But it's up to Pyosik to find.
Ôi, tú khoái cầm Fiora đập con Aatrox lắm
layered it with a lot of other big AoE CCs here. The Renata ultimate. You've got Varus, Deft here, really good at setting up plays with the Varus ult. If you cover an area of the map with the Maokai ultimate and the Renata ultimate, makes it way easier to hit the other ones.
I think Deft needs to go more towards an on-hit build here. I think poke against Soraka. Yes, if you hit her, it's great, but if she stays back, she'll heal through your poke. Also, Vamp Scepter early on in lane is great, but of course the Eclipse build can help out. But regardless, hoping Deft goes for on-hits. But we talk about the lockdown of Maokai. Not only is it getting onto the Kalista, but the Akali, when she dives in, point and click CC will be so important in keeping Zeka alive.
Very, very true. And for the T1 side, you are looking at the top triangle of the map. Those two melee solo laners with the Sejuani stuns.
Go lên, come on.
Sejuani ganks into the top lane. Get that Fiora ahead. Get that Fiora advantage over the Aatrox that we've seen be so big in pushing.
DRX must step up now. T1 are on match point for their 4th World Championship. The other 3 earned under the SKT banner. This would be the first time they claim it as T1, and they are a single game away.
When Zeus
single game away.
And he picked the Yone. They also had owner on the Sejuani.
Một game nữa thôi. Nghe anh em nói chứ, anh em nghe nói chưa?
Get him these kills.
Single game away.
See if they do it again here.
Again. Nhẹ nhàng thôi, bình tĩnh nào.
Excited to see Faker on Akali, see what damage he can get done. We saw games where he's just dominating the backline in fights. DRX have locked down for him, and he'll try to navigate his way through. The benefit is the enemy mid-jungle is double AP on both sides, so itemization and runes shouldn't be too difficult.
Yep.
It's all about the side lanes, really. How far ahead can this Fiora get, and how much can she leverage that lead in team fights versus split push for DRX, who have really good engage. They have good choke control and everything along those lines. T1 just have better skirmish, and they want to look to flank and find these angles. It's been T1 finding these scaling drafts which want to be death balls. Now it's flipped its head as T1 pick things like this Kalista and Akali who want to dive in.
But remember, blue side has won every game so far in the series. Pyosik starting off with a control ward here to be able to clear the vision on his own chicken camp, so then he can do his jungle without being seen. Zeus just hanging out here in the brush top side. Kingen being nice and patient.
Va chạm dưới boss, va chạm rồi.
Spicy here in the bottom lane as Beryl, Deft, and Gumayushi trade blows.
Yeah, the support's determined so much of this matchup here. Keria walking forward, trying to push them off, but it will be the early push for DRX. Deft and Beryl going to take advantage of the minion wave and get to number 2 first.
Bot lane expected to be in isolation, looking at both junglers. Owner will move towards the Wolves. Pyosik will finish the red and move towards top side. 2v2, likely in favor of the Fiora Sejuani early game. The cooldowns for the Aatrox are incredibly long. Level up coming in here from Beryl. He could look to flash Q carrier if he steps up a little bit too far, but he's not going to do it. Training on top, that's where both junglers want to focus.
Team tại không chưa điểm yếu vẫn mạnh vậy luôn.
If the Fiora gets ahead.
Good job of Kingen right there. You can see his movement. He hugs the wall, hiding that vital, that procs for the Fiora in it so that Zeus can't get the better trade.
Faker at 200 HP here early on, playing the melee into the range. That's the early laning phase. You trade your health as a resource to guarantee that you're able to get this farm. Dorian's shield plus potions going to allow him to weather that storm with the most grace possible.
Exactly, and you wait till you get low to get that missing health heal. Really high value out of it. He's also got the extra sustain with the fleet footwork there. Everything he can do with his runes.
Owner, level 3. Does get spotted by the ward. Zeka knows where he is. Will have to back up as he runs into this top side river. Pyosik still clearing out his camps. Top crab should be in favor of T1 here, and Pyosik going to backtrack down towards the spot side. The problem is King is very diveable right now. He's pinging assistance. Pyosik now running back towards top as quickly as he can, because if Owner peeks his head up there, Barrel.
Ooh, Barrel goes in aggressively, but the flash isn't going to get him a lot. Now he and Deft have to back away. Gumayushi goes for the Pierce.
Flash lên là
now too. Barrel's at 200 HP. Barrel tries to get away. Deft is at 100. Carry is low. Deft is going to block the bailout. Will he get the damage? No, it's first blood over the Carrier.
Guma and Carrier do it again. This T1 bottom lane on point, but now Jungler's mid.
Junglers both here, Faker at 200 HP. T1 can't take it any further, but the T1 bottom lane, the return to glory after falling short at MSI, trying to reclaim that title of top bot lane in the world, and they're showing off 2v2.
And they're showing off in the most important game of their year, maybe even their career, winning out on that bot 2v2. Guma and Carry have struggled so much throughout summer, with Guma taking bad trades or dashing too far forwards in lane, which just hurts their 2v2. But it's this time where they get the advantage up against DRX. I'd love to see the replay here, because I think Gumayushi dashes out of vision to stop Deft from getting the kill. And I want to see Carrier silence towards the end. I think he silenced Deft on his Q to get the kill. So, Gumayushi and Carrier, Barrel doesn't get the connect. They then flash forward to look for Deft, who then responds to this flash. Barrel puts the bailout on Deft and tells him to just run straight into them. He loses vision on Guma here, and I think Carrier silence just about pulls it off to stop the Q from landing.
Just barely, and Guma runs all the way around into the alcove, out of fog of war. Can't see him anymore, can't finish it, can't get the bailout. All summoners also blown on the bottom side of the map. So you know there's blood in the water. As much as you really want to focus on the top triangle of the map, now bottom lane fighting this aggressively, so
giờ không chịu nổi nhịp của con Asia đâu. Asia nó ngoan ngoãn chịu không nổi đâu.
Has flash. You could just flash root someone here. Needs the wave to go a little bit further forward so he can get in that.
Cả bot T1 chắc chắn là không biết đường ở đây.
Away from DRX. They've got significantly more minions, so those are about to collide.
Mà cẩn thận thôi, cẩn thận. Tại vì không thấy ở đâu trên bản đồ hết.
Side of the map now making his way down through their own bottom side jungle, so that means they just have to wait, play it safe, play it cool, clear out the wave. That's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, Pyosik hasn't based yet. He's going to recall now and pick up those boots. A little bit behind Owner on the clear speed in terms of responding to these plays. Top lane in favor
Lương
of
tháng của
T1,
Faker
mid lane
bằng
in
10
favor
năm,
of DRX.
10
Owner
năm
now
thôi
around,
làm.
has the blast
Thứ
bomb,
dữ
gets
vậy.
spotted by the ward, which will be swept away.
Dữ
DRX,
vậy.
no flashes in bot side, needs to be very careful.
Yeah, both junglers
Nghe mà thấy tội vậy.
Try and visit, since they know it's so volatile. But Owner not losing out on any camps as he does it. Dragon spawning, control ward placed as well, and now he's
mà
just covering
Faker
her
thì
down.
nó đâu có còn ở vị trí nhận lương nữa. Nó ở cái vị trí phát lương rồi mà. Nó ở vị trí phát lương rồi nè.
And there it is, exactly as you say. Owner making his way over to that
Oh. Phiêu ra để cho anh tóc hành vậy. Thì đó mới nói đó.
Ready to stop this recall here. Ghost and teleport both available for Zeus if he can get back. Pyosik will not kill him.
Bây giờ mà chết, bây giờ pha này về là thọt lắm luôn nè.
That was a critical heal. Zeus got the fleet footwork heal off of tapping Pyosik, so able to sustain under his tower, and now the bottom side with Owner.
Owner's ready to go.
Hay quá.
Target. They're ready to try to fight back, but DRX are 2v3.
Guma lại sống rồi.
So close. I wonder if
Guma lại sống.
Exchange and he could use it before the bailout. Either way, they don't get the reset. He dodges the Sejuani Q, which is pixel perfect. But they can't trade in the 2v3.
Nó phát lương gần mấy ngàn tỷ.
And they still felt confident enough to take that fight. T1 come away with 2 kills.
Faker giờ giàu lắm rồi bạn.
And they just got that dragon with the alert going up as well. Huge stuff for T1 starting to snowball in this game.
Mặc dù là bị đè đầu cưỡi cổ ở đường mid nhưng mà vẫn khá là thuận lợi ở các đường khác nào.
Owners there, I think Flash Q comes in and Def doesn't actually flash, just dodges away from the Q. Bailout comes onto Def. He has to heal up, but he chooses not to use it. Maybe that extra auto weaved in would have made it a 1-for-1.
Yeah, Owner a little scared there of the handshake to come out, I believe, too, to knock him in. So he flashed out, and then the re-engage was so close.
Ôi Vũ ca ơi, em tắm cái gì mà lâu quá vậy? Trận 3 đánh hơi bị hay rồi. Cái lộn trận 4 đánh hơi bị hay rồi. Em bỏ lỡ mất 8 phút rồi.
There's a control ward in the pit, but no other DRX bodies are even close. So they can't really do a whole lot to keep fighting for this. Kingen wants to keep these guys nearby. Maokai ulti's not going to find anybody just yet. Zeus continues running. A little sapling. Yes, he's enchanted by the brush, but he can't catch up in time. So T1, they get what they came for and they get back out. Now Zeus ready to issue a fight on the Kingen. Here the grand challenge. Pioshik showing up to try to help them. They're going to try to turn it around right back onto Owner. He's low, but carry. However, DRX will outplay.
Ôi, outplay luôn mà. Cái Q3, ô là trời. Chết rồi. Mày đấy. Kia còn cái lộn còn flash đấy. Hồi ganh nhỏ nó em hồi máu quá trời, nó quấn ngược lại luôn. Vô lâu rồi đang coi với bạn nè, phải không? Ây da, được đấy à. Ok em ơi. Hợp lý. Oh man. À, có tính toán. Zika nó có tính toán, ném là ném ra SB, không? OT đẩy ra SB nè mà. Committed.
Def struggling in this 1v1. Faker was hovering down towards that bot side and trade really aggressively onto Zeka. Knows he doesn't have the shuffle, so he can afford to play so far up. The first play.
Faker múa Akali hơi bị ghê đó nè. Mà tôi thấy con nào nó múa cũng ghê. Con nào nó múa cũng mượt cái. Nó đụng con nào là con đó bị nép, không hiểu.
We were very surprised to see Zeka on not so much of a playmaker, but more of a scaler. But DRX probably think that these games are going very long, so having that control mage is necessary.
Yeah, and then the last game we just saw T1 utilizing the Azir plus the Varus range advantage for later very effectively. DRX trying to choose that one this time around, but T1 have very, very good flankers here. We'll see if they can get to the backside.
Nãy giờ là cầm sứ giả chưa về luôn đúng không? Rớp nãy giờ nó cầm sứ giả chưa về luôn đúng không em?
It's back to what you guys were talking about as the game plan with that top side triangle. Now, the Rift Herald still has half the timer left. Remember, it's Zeus who picked it up, so it's not like Owner can walk this thing around anywhere on the map. As Barrel
rồi, hay quá, còn cái đồng hồ. Oh man, mày rút cái lúc rút về con KDA không bị đánh. Chịu nổi nhiệt không? Không nổi rồi. Tóc nó hút máu ghê quá. Gặp Maokai chịu đam cho nữa thì xong rồi chịu nói. Hai con phiêu ra thì ăn được.
Both side lanes, a lot of fighting, and despite being behind, DRX are putting up a fight.
And it means top side gets really far ahead here for Kingen.
Tóc bây giờ nó đang hot bích mà. Phần lớn là trước trận chung kết này là thường các đội cấm hết, cấm ai tóc hết. Thường này sẽ cấm hết, còn không cấm nữa sẽ bích.
Insurmountable pressure that's been exponentially growing through group stage, even playing to group stage, to quarters, to semis. It's always gotten heavier, the pressure. But now the weight of the world is on them. They're against T1 who are on match point. But they're still finding plays.
Kéo cả CS xuống để mà tranh chấp con rồng này rồi.
The first dragon, the
này
first
là T1 muốn ăn con rồng này rồi.
Going over to T1. DRX grouping up mid, ready to fight back. Immortal Shield Bow and Crown of the Shattered Queen are both done. That is a big item spike advantage for the side.
Tại vì Fibra đang cầm con sứ giả cho nên là thả ra tỷ lệ luôn. Đấy. Tỷ lệ để thả luôn em ơi. Fail mẹ rồi.
That can be denied. T1 starting the Dragon Ball. Meanwhile, it's a 4v4.
Really nicely done from Kingen, but now what about the team fight here in the bottom lane? They're going in. They found a lot of damage, but they won't find the kill just yet. Now Gumayushi's gonna pop and barrel.
Gumayushi bóc thôi. Faker bây giờ tới lượt Faker quẩy nè, Faker làm gì? Không có một tí đam hết. Tóc chạy, chắc chắn là Faker nằm xuống. Oh my god.
Will win across the rim.
They're doing it. The perennial underdogs, DRX. They kill the Raptor on top side. King takes it down. Then they get the sweep from Zeka.
Kéo đội hình là biết muốn ăn con rồng này rồi.
Two kills over to Deft as well. They don't have anything else to follow up with. They've got bot side vision. They got an extra 2 kills. They got the dragon. T1 are the ones who pull the trigger. But look at the communication from DRX. Instantly, Zeka jumps across to the bot lane. Deft is off to the side. Great Varus.
Và rớt bắn ác quá.
Faker tries to salvage
trận này thua rồi. Ơ cả, không được. 3-1.
No tools to escape. The dashes aren't far enough, and Piosik finds it.
Vua lật kèo T1 ở đây mà. Vua lật kèo.
Faker getting pulled in and killed on top of it, and
đúng rồi, ai tóc nó quá
are
xanh.
not done with Worlds 2022.
Mặc dù nó mới 0-0-2 thôi mà nó mạnh quá rồi.
In the top lane as well by Kingen to absolutely halt any sort of a cross map with the Herald. Everyone on this team once again backs to the wall and they stand tall.
And you highlighted it, Flowers. Before the fight, the
con Asia nó lên cái vương miện thế kia thì làm sao mà có thể giết được nó hả anh em? Nên nhìn kìa. Asia nó lên cái vương miện thế kia sao giết được nó?
Pressure in top as well. Kingen showing respect in case any play is to be made. It's on Piosik to find the objective. He's moving towards this top side river. Zeka is in hot pursuit, and the bot lane of DRX is on the way up.
Yeah, look at this. The overcommitment. It's going to be multiple players trying to hover up on top side. They were expecting a hard play here from DRX, waiting for the counter in the brush there for owner. Doesn't pop out. And so they're just going to get a refocus. Ward's already over here. You see towards bottom side too. They're trying to make the trade again. But it's a bottom side recommitment. They're going to get back. DRX, they're going to make the cross-map defense and not give up anything for this Rift Herald.
So does T1 take the 3v3 then because they have information? Soraka ult is up soon as well. Faker not there just yet, but it's level 11. Odo's in the pit. T1 bot lane. Now on the way up. DRX are on a timer to take this fight.
Faker ra sao?
Faker is here.
Faker ra sao? Faker ra sao? Chụp bằng GK. Đúng rồi, phải chụp bằng GK. Ui, Tóc kìa, má, nhìn Tóc nó gõ có cái nào ra cái đó luôn. Đèn. Wow, nhìn Tóc kìa. Rồi, má co cụm trong này luôn.
Executing
in a freaking 4v5, yo!
Trận này khó rồi anh em ơi.
The only king in that fight was
gần 3,5
so
tiền
much
rồi.
work
Khó
to
rồi.
get T1 down. Zeus and Owner couldn't take the fight. Tower over to DRX. Herald over to DRX. Mid tower will fall. Top tower is gonna fall as well. They just broke the entire map open.
Lịch sử lặp lại. Trụ 1 tiếp tục.
Just being here in finals. DRX are already the greatest underdog story, the greatest Cinderella story of Worlds of all time. A 4th seed.
Anh em nhìn kìa, con ai tóc nó lên nó sát lực nha. Nó lên được sát lực, con ai tóc lên được sát lực anh em. Biểu sao nó gõ cái nào ra cái đấy. Tôi coi đánh giải chuyên nghiệp lâu rồi, tôi nói thua là thua. Ai chấp đầu game mà nó ép vậy. Rồi đánh sao? Chết chưa. Trong khi chết rồi, T1 của tôi.
First place in their group, the second reverse sweep of all time at Worlds in quarters and defeating the number 1 seed of their region in semis. Now doing this against T1 in the finals.
And if we're looking at the
mini map, you see the commitment of the T1 bottom lane. Nó gõ về nhìn đam kìa nè.
But they focus fire Owner here.
Thường á.
Flashes over into the hug. Says hello of the sapling.
Tóc biến gặp ngay cái quả hạt thông.
Owner goes down.
Biến gặp ngay con mèo ở trong bụng.
Nice pushback by Zeka to stop Faker from being able to dive on top of them. T1
Mà có nói là thấy rõ kết quả, mặc dù tôi là fan T1 thật sự. Thì cũng đúng mà, tại vì họ Atox nếu mà không có lên đồ counter lại nó thì cũng khó. Nhưng mà bây giờ là phải kéo game dài ra, thì may.
But that was such a big jump in health here for DRX. They won both sides with having depth push down the bottom tower.
Dep bây giờ bắt đầu bỏ cái thói lên đồ sát lực rồi nè mà. Bây giờ bắt đầu lên đồ bắn tay rồi.
And I think DRX are ahead enough to not trade. They're going to get this dragon for free. Zeka has TP. Put numbers top. Don't put numbers around the objective you want to play for. Put numbers around the objective the enemy team wants to play for. Look at T1. They all base. They all realize that DRX control both sides of the map right now.
Nhìn nhỏ mệt á nè. Nhìn
DRX with a 4,000 gold lead. DRX now grabbing their second Drake of the game. A mountain Drake at that will be the soul if they can continue this. And I'll tell you what, something like that makes life much more of a pain for Faker's Akali to try to find his angles and try to maneuver around these fights. Checking in on the top lane, it's still a lead for Kingen. Still 1-0-3 here on the Aatrox.
Chập nó lại, Faker, chập nó lại đúng rồi.
Faker trying to chase after him here. Uses R1, finds the E, but now a TP is coming in. Now the ulti's coming over from Maokai. Now DRX have found Faker. The smoke will not save him, and DRX 5v4 again.
DRX kill Faker, and they're going to push down through bot lane. T1 are playing on two lanes, but the TP salvages that. They'll get this mid tower, but DRX will get the pot tier 2. More gold over to Kingen. More side lane pressure for this Aatrox. Zeus still yet to find his second item. DRX are collapsing.
5k tiền rồi em ơi.
Tower for T1. Gumiyushi running away there, throwing the spear out.
Cách biệt bây giờ là 5k tiền rồi.
Distance away from barrel. Bottom lane tier 2 falls. DRX winning out again. 5,000 gold now ahead of T1.
I mean, you can see.
Zeka?
Whoa.
Bò lạc ra nhưng mà bắt được không? Ôi, đồng đội nó tới nó bắt không được. Đồng đội nó sau lưng nè. Gặp này hai đứa không có đam nữa chứ. Trời đất ơi. Gặp này hai đứa nó không có đam biến về.
DRX controlling the map here, forcing some misplays from T1, some over-aggressive attempts to try and pull the game back because they know they're facing the outscale that DRX faced in the last game.
Tôi thấy
they've got the Varus advantage. They have the front line to work behind
đâu
as
có được
well.
can thiệp từ rừng nhiều đâu mà
pushing in these
sao
side lanes, the map closing in
đánh có vẻ
around
hơi đuối với Atox đó nhờ.
They're running out of options really, T1. Scaling is not really in their favor. It's more so the Fiora that is the scaling because she'll win out on side lane with Aatrox. But Kingen is so strong now. I don't think that scaling can even factor in anymore. They need at least 20 minutes to leverage that or even it out. So
mà thật sự là bây giờ là Fiora nó hơi yếu anh em.
Thật sự là
nó trải qua khá nhiều được nép rồi. Fiora.
T1 second guess themselves until they walk in to the waiting arms of DRX.
Kingen has 2 completed items. Fiora has Divine Sunderer and still some pieces. It'll be a while before he's able to deal with that Aatrox.
I want to see if T1 can go for one of these trailing split push plays, try and hide this behind one of the split pushers and pick somebody off, because that's what you have to do, one of these surprise plays. Sejuani ult into melee champions, proc the stun, take away some of this pushing power of DRX, because look at them, they're playing the whole map right now.
They are, and that's because of these pushing side lanes. Are they going to start up the Baron? Looks like they're thinking about it.
Okay.
They can do this.
Khởi động Baron rồi, ok.
Yeah,
and
it's the solo lanes of DRX with the push, and it's Kingen who finished.
Còn đông người quá này
last place
được.
last year in summer alongside Pyosik. Then he convinced Zeka, who's a very close friend of his, to come back from the LPL and join the LCK and join him in the ranks of DRX.
6k tiền
and
rồi
he
nè
took
mà.
the gamble. He joined the last place team. Look at them now. World's finals, both having the side lane push, winning out in their respective
bây giờ là
solo
gần
laners,
6k tiền rồi.
and they really want to threaten this Baron. Owner is in the vicinity.
Rồi bắt đầu là ăn thiệt rồi, ăn thiệt rồi đó. Pha này là ăn thiệt. Ui, tốc độ ăn kìa. Tốc độ ăn, tốc độ ăn tốc độ luôn nè. Đỡ. Faker nhảy lên đỡ.
Faker's lost half HP. Faker is nearly down. Hostile takeover over the wall. Wish from Soraka will heal the
No!
He's gonna be shuffled away.
Có bắt được không? Có bắt được hay sao không? Gumayusi đuổi theo, đừng để cho Atox nó. Rồi Atox giữ rồi, hay quá. Atox có giữ được KDA rồi. Rồi bây giờ phải tháo chạy từng người một đi. Over. Khó rồi, game này khó rồi. 6k tiền anh em ơi, 6k 2 tiền rồi.
Comes to collect. And he's looking for his crown, isn't he? He's putting the whole team on his back in these fights. Zeka and Deft fall, but the last threat on DRX is King and Dragon spawning in 30 seconds. Even numbers distribution across the board in terms of deaths. No neutral objective started just yet. DRX don't have the damage to take down this.
Nhưng mà nếu mà trận chung kết mà BO5 mà không tới được trận thứ 5 thì nó cũng thiếu đi phần thú vị đúng không anh em?
Mid-wave pushes. Faker really struggling to get involved in these fights.
Yeah, that infernal chain barely yoinked him back in, hit the full combo.
Mọi người ơi, ai chưa subscribe cho tôi xin một subscribe với nha anh em. Cảm ơn anh em rất là nhiều. Tôi cần 100 subscribe để mà đổi cái URL link. Anh em nhớ subscribe tôi nhé. Cảm ơn anh em. Năn nỉ anh em luôn.
Then gets the auto attack in, I believe, as he dashes out. Pyosik follows through across the wall to get the kill.
Reload lại chưa kịp. Cái R2 reload lại chưa kịp.
That means it's a numbers disadvantage around the river fight, so that's where T1 find their advantage. Kingan's trying his best to come around the wall and help out.
Gumayusi bị bọc ra đằng sau kìa.
And look how much work Guma puts in for T1. They're trying to fight their way out up the river here towards Zeka, towards Beryl, chasing them through. But Kingan from behind catches everything. Pyosik with the flash over the wall into the tri-brush.
Ôi, má nhìn nó đâm kìa. Nó đâm Gumayusi kìa anh em. Nó đâm cái nội tại nửa cây máu. Má nhìn Atox kìa. Holy hell. 5k4 đam trong cái pha giao tranh đó. Holy hell. Nó đâm Gumayusi một cái thôi, nửa cây máu cũng là trời.
Maw completed as his third big item. DRX now with their soul point status has total control over.
Tôi qua kia coi đây, ok xong lại bỏ rơi túi.
Again, he'll look for it. He'll only find owner. Carry is nearby. He's trying to get away. He has to flash. Nice stun from
mất một
owner
flash
to
với một chiều cuối.
Very big cooldowns here burned before this Baron attempt. DRX now retreating back into the vision that they do control.
I think they might have to force this soon because Zeus is pushing bot. Kingan doesn't want to TP down there. He wants to force Zeus to TP up. So I feel like DRX needs to make a barrel pull soon.
Ok, sao lại như vậy?
It's time to go. Objective bounty claimed, and now Zeus is ready to join the fight.
Baron
at half HP. Owner's trying to find his way in there. He Arctic assaults over the wall. He has no flash. There is no blast cone, but just the threat of the steal gets DRX off the Baron.
They got double TP. They need to get back towards mid, clear out this wave, and then reset the map state. No TPs on T1 means their side lanes are going to struggle. DRX have the advantage on the globals.
Exactly. DRX got what they came for. They don't care if they don't finish the Baron here. They don't want another crazy steal coming through. They want 2 teleport cooldowns. And they got both of them.
Không biết nó sẽ lật kiểu gì đây nè. 5k5 tiền thì thực sự nó cũng không quá nhiều nữa mà. Nhưng mà đội hình combat khó quá. Bây giờ Zeus nó không quẩy được.
Kingan wants to stop him. This time, Baron at 3k. Owner goes berserk. He's locked down. The Baron for DRX.
They kept him out this time. Everything thrown over the wall.
Ăn con Baron phát nó nhảy tiền vãi nồi luôn nè.
Secure the Baron.
And they'll use the Baron as a blanket to secure the soul. They'll keep waves in onto T1's tier 3 towers. Maybe they'll look for the tier 2 top if they want to play 4-1. But the
Trần Nguyễn Hữu Nhân, anh đoán xem trận này sao? Tôi vẫn có niềm tin vào T1 anh em ạ. Tại vì á, là tôi thấy T1 rất là nhiều trận bị gác tới 8-9k tiền vẫn lật như thường, 10k tiền vẫn lật như thường. Bây giờ cái phần quan trọng là Faker với lại thằng Zeus á, thằng Zeus nó phải quẩy được cơ, thằng Zeus với lại Faker phải bắt được lần sau cơ. Honor nó làm tốt nhiệm vụ của nó rồi, nó đã giữ rất là kỹ rồi, nhưng mà vẫn không có tạo ra đam á, anh hiểu không? Hồi nãy giờ anh em thấy không, các cái pha giao tranh đó là T1 không có đam. Faker bị kèm kỹ quá, không có đam. Faker với lại bây giờ là GS được giao nhiệm vụ là đi đẩy lẻ rồi, cũng được, đổi chiến thuật bây giờ đi đẩy lẻ cũng hợp lý á, nhưng mà trụ nổi không nè. Thằng Mau cay nó ulti vô một cái thôi, Aatrox nó càng thì thôi rồi, Aatrox bây giờ rất là khỏe rồi. Anh em nhìn đồ Aatrox kìa, đấy thấy chưa anh em, tôi nói có chính xác không? Mau cay nó ném ulti vô trước. Lời người mà, bây giờ lời người nó cứ auto chạy vô thôi. Bây giờ cứ lời người đó auto chạy vô nó mở cái bát thôi. Bây giờ cái này mình GS nó không về là thua luôn. Messi vẫn còn nhảy được. Ôi GS, ôi Faker chưa gì mà máu tuột à. JK nó đâm thốn quá. JK nó đâm thốn quá. Rồi, kèm hết. Aatrox nó kèm hết. Khó cứu à. Game này khó cứu à anh em à. Nó giữ hai con xe kìa. Ô là trời, nó giữ hai con xe bắn trụ. Làm gì đó đi. Come on baby. Cắm thẳng cái thiêu đốt vô đầu của GS rồi, GS không hồi máu được. Keria chạy trốn, Keria không thể sống nổi. T1 tan vỡ rồi. T1 tan vỡ rồi. Không. Holy shit. 2-2. Oh my